How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jimmy. We're making it work if you're new here. I like to do videos about my days in the shop. That's my number one. I also do project truck videos, and I also have lots of opinions like a lot of you might. I like to share my opinions in a video here and there. You stay tuned and watch this video if you want to know what I think about the state of the repair industry from a mechanic's perspective today. There's a big time mechanic shortage right now in the auto repair industry. It's really hard for people to find mechanics, especially good ones that will actually show up to work 5 days a week. And if they're supposed to work 8 to 5 or 8 to 6, they'll be at the shop from 8 to 5 or 8 to 6. It's really hard just to find people to show up. And then the other hard part is finding people that really want to be mechanics and they're not doing it like as a last resort and they hate their job and that kind of thing. One of the hardest things is to find a mechanic who's passionate about what they do and wants to continue to get better and learn and improve themselves. That's an asset to the shop. But one of the main reasons that doesn't seem to happen much is because you're not attracting people that are very organized and almost like an engineer. You have to have almost an engineer's mindset to be a mechanic, because everything has to be attacked from a plan. You have to have some kind of a plan and a sense of purpose in what you're doing. We're not just fixing cars. We're helping keep people mobilized, keeping the world moving. There's a lot to being a mechanic that you can take pride in. You're not just some dirtbag grease monkey. I've made a video about how mechanics are seen as thieves, and that's a huge problem in our industry. When the primary results of what happens with your car when you bring it into a repair shop is the shop's responsibility, not the mechanic. So if a shop has mechanics in there working for them that are thieves, then the shop is very well aware of that. And a lot of times the shop encourages that, which is kind of a shame. I work where I work because they don't encourage mechanics to be thieves. They encourage mechanics to be thorough, which could be perceived that way because you might get a gigantic estimate if you haven't maintained your car very well. Don't be mad at the mechanic for that. Don't be mad at the shop for that either. If you're not maintaining your car and you got a big long list of neglected things, then maybe you need to tighten that up, pick up a couple things from that list each time you bring your car in. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here because there's a lot on my plate to think about doing this so long. The problem is that perspective is what makes it so, not even just the customers, but sometimes you find the shops, the managers and service writers thinking they're protecting the customers from the mechanics. Now that's kind of a slippery slope, because if you know your mechanics are thieves, should they be working there? If you know your mechanics are incompetent, should they be working there? If your mindset is you need to protect the customers from them, maybe you need to make some changes and get some mechanics that you can trust. I know it's hard to find bodies, just getting bodies in the shop. I think I read an article saying there was 74,000 mechanics openings, so there's a shortage for mechanics big time. Well, let's talk about why that is. First of all, if you treat mechanics like they're thieves and you own a shop, you're probably not going to find a lot of people that want to work for you. Second of all, if you're a manager at a shop who thinks mechanics are thieves, you're probably not going to find a lot of mechanics that want to work for you, especially the good ones that aren't thieves. The ones who are thieves might laugh about it and not really care too much. But I think most of us take that personally because we're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to make a living, take care of our families. We're trying to get customers on the road. People got to get to work. They got to get to the doctor, whatever the case may be. That's our job. So if you're having meetings encouraging mechanics to raise the numbers and sell more alignments and flushers and things like that, but you're not having meetings encouraging them based on who had the least amount of comebacks, who had the least amount of problems, who's being the most thorough when they repair a vehicle, that kind of thing, then you are creating the environment for mechanics to be perceived as thieves. And a lot of shops kind of know that and take advantage of it. One of the things I also come across a lot is the labor guide now is way out of whack. Maybe that's the reason there's a shortage of mechanics. I used to be able to beat the labor guide by 30% easily. Or more. So if a labor guide said something was 2 hours, it would take me an hour, maybe an hour and a half at the most to get it fixed. If something said 5 hours, it would take me 3.5, maybe 4 hours to get it done. But the labor guides have been getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and now it's to the point where if something says 1.1 hours in the labor guide, it takes an hour and a half. And if you've done it a few times, you can get down to that 1 hour, 1.1 hours and break even. But that's not, you don't pay mechanics on flat rate. and the mechanic's going to be happy trying to break even with their clock hours. If they're in the shop 45 hours a week, they want to do 45 plus productivity in labor. They want to do, I like to do 50 or 60 hours a week, and I've frequently been over 80 hours in a week. And that's not from skipping work, that's from being efficient, thorough, getting things done without overlooking problems and having to redo your work. If you're busy redoing mistakes and things you made from rushing and being out of your comfort zone, it actually costs you time because you end up having to go back over it, and that stops you the following day from doing other work you could have done because you're redoing work, right? So a lot of those things, between being the thieves, the labor guides, all these things, that's creating the shortage of mechanics. Who wants to get into an industry working out in the heat, working on hot engines, sharp things, having to buy all these tools, being expected to work 8, 10, 12-hour days, sometimes 6 days a week, and then being told you're a thief and you're not good enough, and or that you're overcharging. Like once in a while, a mechanic will say, man, that labor guide's not right, I need more time for that. Well, I can't pay you that, I have to pay you what the labor guide says. Well, if the labor guide is constantly wrong and that mechanic has the experience to know that labor guide's not paying right, you need to adjust the labor. They're cutting the labor guides down to lower the cost of ownership for a customer. That's all great, but everybody just assumes the mechanic's going to pay for that. So you want to pay a mechanic 1.1 hours for a job that might take 2 hours, and it's just tough. That's just all there is to it. Don't wonder why there's a shortage of mechanics and nobody wants to be a mechanic. There's no other industry in the world that I know of that will tell somebody, get in the office, work for an hour so you can find some work to do. After an hour, we'll start paying you. This is the only industry that happens. They tell you do this, do that, and do this. There's a list of things you do for free. We do free brake checks, we do free AC checks. We got a special today, free tire rotation. Well, it's the shop's obligation to pay that mechanic for doing all those things. You should not be expected to work for free. Technically, it should be illegal. They're paying you on flat rate, which means when you're doing something, you're getting paid. I don't think there's any gray area in that, but I noticed the industry is getting, I call it coupon stores, so tire stores. They're riding the mechanics, lowering what they want to pay them, charging the customers more, and eventually the customers get mad and stop coming in, and they go somewhere else. And then you got to send out coupons to attract new customers, and then you got a high turnover rate with mechanics. It's just not a good long-term plan for this industry, and I really get concerned about it because I'm going to be retiring probably, I don't know, 5-8 years. However long my body will let me do it, I'll probably keep doing it on some level. I might go from full-time down to part-time. I might just retire and do side jobs for helping people out in the area or whatever kind of thing like that. But I'm getting close. So, but I really feel bad for guys in their 20s, 30s, and 40s right now, because you got 20 or 30 more years. And all of these big chain stores and coupon stores are trying to find ways to pay you less, to charge the customer more. And they're all wondering what's going wrong. Why can't we find competent help? That's why. So I just wanted to make this video to go over some of that stuff. Hopefully people that own shops can consider that. If you're starting your own shop soon and you haven't yet, bear in mind that mechanics are probably getting pretty slim, and they're going to need to be paid well if you want to retain them. And like I had one manager tell me one time, don't be a prima donna. You have to unload the tires from the truck just like everybody else. I'm like, because they have entry-level mechanics or installers, and then they have C, B, and A mechanics or technicians. So the higher your level is, the more likely you're doing more complicated repairs and things like that. So you're not usually going to be expected to unload a truck or empty garbage cans because you're busy generating sometimes very complicated repairs, fixing things for people getting cars on the road. You're not to stop and do that, to stop and unload a truck while one of the installers is sleeping or on their phone. That doesn't make that mechanic a prima donna. It makes that manager a poor manager, because there's a guy that's coming in late and spending time on their phone and they're not helping with that stuff, don't call your lead techs or even your beep mechanics. Don't call them names, because you can't organize your shop correctly and get the proper people doing the proper tasks. You know, I wouldn't call a manager a prima donna, because they're not taking out the garbage, right? They would have to find someone to do it for them. They're not going to do it. Are they a prima donna? You know, does the shop owner take out the trash? I think they should, but it's not their job. They delegate those responsibilities. So that's just some of the problems in the industry I wanted to talk about in this video briefly. Like I started saying in closing, shop owners need to be aware of some of this stuff. If you're insulting your mechanics and calling them names and telling them they're prima donnas and things like that, you probably have very high turnover, and you probably can't find really good help. It's not those mechanics. So tell me what you think in the comments. Is this just mechanics perspective skewed? If it is, I'm sure it's skewed in every position in their favor, whether you're on commission or flat rate or salary or hourly. Everyone does things based on the way they're paid, or wants to do things based on the way they're paid. But way too often, those positions rely on the other people to make those numbers happen for them. The only time that doesn't happen is if you're on salary, or if you're clocking in, you're paid hourly. A lot of things to consider. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. I appreciate you watching. It's not really a rant, it's just some thoughts. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. I talk to a lot of people, and they tell me a lot of these things. They're feeling the same thing. It's not just me. I want to know what you think, though. Torque the like button before you head out if you enjoyed this video, and more than anything, I hope I see you in another one, because you're awesome.